Hi there and welcome to yet another Season 4 guide. This time I will be teaching you how to play Twisted Fate, the Card Master. I hope you enjoy the video. Twisted Fate is one of the most feared mid laners because of his insane presence throughout the game. A good Twisted Fate is able to carry their teams easily, but the question is how to become a good Twisted Fate, and that is where I am for. After this video you will know how to play Twisted Fate in general. After that all you have to do is play him for a couple of games to practice this and to learn certain matchups. The guide will be separated in 3 parts. Firstly I will go over his skill set. After that we will talk about laning and last but not least, team fighting. So without further ado, let's get started. Twisted Fate's passive grants you extra gold upon killing a unit. This gold is a random number between 1 and 6. The passive helps you to get your items faster when farming because you naturally get more gold than your opponent. By only farming with your opponent, you already gain a small lead. His Q, Wildcard, throws 3 cards forward in an arc, dealing magic damage to enemies they pass through. This skill deals a ton of damage and it's part of his main damage output. It is also a great skill for farming entire waves mid/late game. His W, pick a card, is the most difficult and most interesting part of his kit. When you press W for the first time, you will cycle through 3 possible cards: the blue card, red card and gold card. Upon pressing W again, you will select one of the cards and you have a couple of seconds to throw this card by auto-attacking. The blue card grants you mana upon usage and deals the most damage of all 3. This one is great for laning because you never get out of mana, but after laning you don't really use it that often anymore. Never use this one in team fights. The red card deals damage to your target and all surrounding enemies, plus it slows them for 2.5 seconds. This one deals mediocre damage and can be used as a res on lane by attacking minions nearby enemy champions, or it could be used to quickly farm waves. The gold card deals damage to your target and stuns the target as well. This stun allows you to hit your Q with ease and is always used in fights because of this. Then his next skill, his E, is a passive that grants Twisted Fate more attack speed and it will make every 4th basic attack do extra magic damage. This passive can be combined with your W, which will make it a deadly burst of unexpected damage. Great for a wrestle lane and for one hit potential. And last but certainly not least, his ultimate, Destiny. This is why Twisted Fate is such a feared mid laner. With this skill you get vision of every champion and you can teleport almost across the map. The range scales with the level of the skill, so when your ultimate is level 3 you can teleport across the map. Before that it is a little bit less, but still long. So we know Twisted Fate is a strong champion to control games, but how do we execute this correctly? Let's start with the laning phase. The laning phase can be very hard to Twisted Fate against certain champions. Early game all-in champions can take you with ease, so play very safe against those type of champions. Farm from level 1 to 6 and try to get as much farm as you can, but be sure to not die. When you get low, just go back to base, miss a couple of minions and farm again when you're back. It's not worth dying because then your roaming potential goes down greatly after level 6. When your E passive is up, try to go for a gold card into a Q. This is great harass and deals a nice amount of damage. Then use your blue card to last hit minions to get your mana back. You can also try using your Q to poke them. Good players dodge it easily, but you don't always play against good players, so it could definitely do some nice damage. When you get level 6, use your red card onto melee minions and throw a Q through the entire minion wave. This will clear the wave really fast, allowing you to roam around the map. Keep an eye on your map. If you see enemies going aggressive, move out, ult in and help your teammates. Don't try to force your ult though. This usually doesn't work. Only use it when your enemies are going aggressive onto your allies. Then there's almost no escape for the enemies. Make sure you have pushed the wave before you roam, or else you risk that your turret will be taken down. That trade is usually not worth it. If you do that, I think you should be able to lane fairly well. Twisted Fate becomes really strong late game, so be sure to keep farming and get your items together. Let's go over to how to play in team fights. There are 2 ways you can play team fights. You can be the initiator when someone of the enemy team is out of position. Ult him, kill him fast and go back to the backlines. If nobody on the enemy team is out of position, you should be sitting in the backline throughout the fights. Use gold cards to stun high priority targets, and keep throwing those wild cards out as much as you can. Also, keep auto-attacking to proc your Lich Bane and to get your E passive up. Both ways work really well, it really depends on the situation you're in. You can also use your ult to reveal stealth targets like Akali, Twitch and Evelynn. Twisted Fate plays like an AD carry in teamfights, so don't try the front line. This makes you extremely vulnerable and you really have no escapes other than flash. The longer you survive, the more damage you can put out, so be sure your positioning is good. If you combine everything I just told you, I am sure you will be a great Twisted Fate. Of course, it doesn't really happen without practice, so go into a game and practice these skills. Don't expect to be a great Twisted Fate right off the bat, because that is not how it works. Practice makes perfect. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I will answer all of your questions. Please press that like button if you want to see more of these. I make guides like this regularly, so you can also subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching and good luck with Twisted Fate.